Hello everyone, in this video I just want to show you all the art supplies that I've owned for a very long time but that I still have not used. Some of them are kind of embarrassing because I've owned them for a long time and they're very expensive art supplies. But lately I've been getting inspired to start using them, and I'm also wondering which one of these supplies you would like me to test out first. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Now let's go straight into the video. The first art supply is this pigment deco brush by Karen. There are these markers. I'm sure you've seen them around. And the reason I bought these is because I would like to use them on top of paint, especially gouache and acrylic paints, to see how they work. I've been testing them out loosely with just doing sketches with just using these markers, but I have not combined them with other art supplies. As you can see, these are very beautiful. They have the brush nib, which I really like, and they're acrylic. I only switched them on these boards, but not on these cards yet, and also not yet on different types of paper. I just really hope that they work well with paints on the background. I think it will be really useful to mix those two together. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this set. The next art supply that I still have not used yet is also an embarrassing one. The pigment deco brush set I've owned for 6 months from by now, I think. But these ones I've owned since the beginning of 2022. As you can see, it's by Winsor & Newton. It's the designer gouache set, which is really expensive. And I've only tried out cheap gouache. So I'm really curious to see how these work, especially to see if they're any different than cheap gouache. And by cheap I mean the Hemi gouache set. As you can see, all the tubes are still really new. I have not even opened them yet, which I really should be doing at some point. Speaking of gouache, another art supply I bought quite a while ago are these Liquitex acrylic gouache. I own lots of colors, like the 3 basics. And the reason I bought these is because I heard these are really good with layering, especially because when you use usually gouache or normal gouache, they activate with water again. So if you then use other markers on top, it'll blend together. And when these ones are dry, they do not blend together. I think this will be really useful for painting backgrounds at first, and then painting the details on top with other art supplies. I just bought the regular colors so I can mix them with each other. And they're really opaque. And what I also like about these is that you can create your own sets. Because of this nib, you can just put them in other baskets, or like painting palettes. Like this is something I created my own with other gouache. I need to start to see if these are still good, and if the paints are not good anymore, I'll clean that out and I'll put those paints in here. That is also something for another video. And the next things I bought are these Ecoline droplets. I own both sets, the basics and the secondary set. And I would like to use them for painting galaxies and stuff like that. And also combine that with other art supplies. I also have the entire brush set of Ecoline, which I'm also really excited to start using. But I only have been using them for sketching, so not entirely art pieces, or not complete art pieces, but I think I'll use them just for sketching. Then there are two art supplies that I've owned for a very, very long time, but I got these as gifts. They're not the usual materials I'd like to use, but I've been curious about what you can do with it. Especially this one. I think this is my oldest art supply that I own that I still have not used. As you can see, you can do a lot with it. It's just a material that has a lot of different outcomes. And they're like blocks, and you can activate them and then you can use them. I'm kind of intimidating by them. This is how these look like. Let me know if you're curious about me using these. What I really like is that this is a small package, which is one of the main reasons that I've been keeping them, even though I have not used them yet. And then another thing I have not used are these watercolors by Schmincke. I heard Schmincke is a really expensive brand, and I got them for free when I purchased those Ecoline brush pens. But watercolor isn't my favorite art supply. I usually like to use gouache and use that as a watercolor background first to layer on top. But the colors that are in the set look really beautiful. So I'm really curious to see how they will look. And then the last set of art supplies that I still have not used is these Faber-Castell 120 polychrome set. I think this is the most embarrassing one because I've owned that for many years now. I think from 2019. I only use them a little bit in coloring pages or for sketches, but not that much. As you can see, all the pencils look still really new. I have not even swatched all of the colors yet, which I probably should have done by now. And the reason I bought these is for sketching, because I really like to sketch with coloring pencils instead of just the gray ones. And I would like to use them for outlining my paintings to give them a more illustrative look. Let me know which ones you're most excited for me to try out. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!